Gospel of John. Okay? John 21. Start with verse 15. John 21, verse 15. When they had finished breakfast, this was after the resurrection, which was seen on the beach, and they were walking. The thing was, Jesus and Peter were walking alongside each other, and St. John was following from behind. And Peter was kind of thinking like a man, and what Peter was saying to Jesus, how come you're sending me for this mission and that guy behind walking, St. John is not? And what did Jesus say? If it is my will, Jesus said to him, to Peter, on verse 22, if it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? You will just follow me. That is what Jesus said to Peter. So what is it to you? Right? Sometimes we tend to envy other people. So one lesson here is, you cannot say to God, God, I'm doing everything you want me to do here. I'm giving tithes. I come to Mass every week, sometimes more than once a week. I give communion. I'm a lector. I'm this, I'm that. And how come that guy over there seems to be getting all the good things and I'm not? So God will tell us, what is it to you? What is it to you? Do you have any right to complain to God that way? If God is giving Aritza all the graces and nothing to me, what right do I have to question God? Because I hear God, Jesus saying to me, so what is it to you? John chapter 21 verse 22. What is it to you? Now that takes us to three types of love. I'm giving you three types of love. One is eros. Second one is filio. And the third one is agape. So eros, filio, and agape. Eros is for your understanding, this is the romantic love. You remember in the early days, your husband-to-be was giving you phone call, yeah, sending you flowers, maybe sending you fruits, maybe sending you vegetables, sometimes sending you fish. He will cook or he will bake a cake, food for the gods, or the devil's food will send it to you. Right? That's eros. That's the love of the man to a woman, the woman's love for the man. Understand? This is a very light love. It's a very light love. I love you from my mouth only. In case of difficulty, I'll think again. If I see something negative in you, I'll call you, okay? You understand? That's eros. That's why the word erotic. You understand? In English, we have the word erotic. Erotic means what? Playboy. Playboy or Hustler, you know those magazines? Erotic love. That's where it came from the word eros. So, erotic. Eros, erotic. What about phileo? This is the brotherly love. You understand brotherly love? If you have siblings, that's how you love each other. You love your sibling, they love you too. Would you be willing to die for your sibling?
Maybe.
Maybe, but probably you'll think again, right? So that's a brotherly love. Agape. This is love worth dying for. The term for this in the Bible is sacrificial love. Sacrificial love. That's the word. Sacrificial love means I'm willing to die for this love. And Jesus says there's no love greater than giving one's life for a friend. There's no greater love. How many of you will die for me? Why are you laughing?
Just one.
You are not willing to die for me? If some bad people will barge into this room, whoever cannot die for him, you better leave now, otherwise we'll start shooting. Will you leave me here?
I think just the fact that we can all fight, we can all fight at the same time without thinking. There's a adrenaline that will kick in. Otherwise, instead of fighting, will we hide? Instead, we'll fight all together.
Now, this conversation brings us to yesterday's gospel. That's why I started with this. Remember, yesterday's gospel, Pentecost, that's when the Holy Spirit descended upon the apostles. And that's when they had the tongues and the courage to speak. They didn't have the courage before you, like you and me. There was no courage. They were afraid. How did that gospel begin? The apostles, including Mary, the mother of Jesus, were in the upper room with the door locked for fear of the Jews. Right? They were afraid of the Jews, that's why the door was locked. And then Jesus appeared to them through locked doors. So you see Jesus walking through that wall. Forget about the door. You can lock it as much as you want. He will just walk through the door, through the wall. Peace be with you, he says. Now I send the Holy Spirit. Pentecost. And at first, maybe you have eros. How much do you love me? Eros, phileo, or agape?
Phileo and agape.
First it was eros, then it became phileo.
Okay, when was it eros, and when did it become phileo?
When I met you.
Yes, don't have any kids.
I can sense from your eyes that you don't even love me.
The phileo, that's the first one. With the then agape, as we get to know each other, it becomes agape.
You really love. It's sacrificial. You're willing to make sacrifice for the one you love. Do you understand? Is this the natural love for spouses? Yeah?
Not at first.
Yeah? I know you have a spouse. You will die for him?
No.
Really? What kind are you? You will not die for him? And some people even go to the extreme. Remember that, what was that? A chemist? There was a chemist woman. She actually killed the husband through chemical. Little by little. Little by little. And the husband died after a few months. Yay, insurance. But now she is in jail.
Someone for that. But I think it would happen, you know. It begins from there to there, eventually get to the agape love.
Definitely. This is only possible. This number 3 is only possible with the Holy Spirit. I have seen people whose spouses have died. They cry bitterly 1 week, 3 days. Then they cry a little, and then they started attending parties as if nothing happened.
I'm sorry, what was that? They attend parties?
Yeah, they start attending parties and social events and functions as if nothing happened. This agape is only possible with the Holy Spirit. Without the Holy Spirit, you can never attain that level of love. Eros is very human. This is very human. Whoa, she's kind of cute. That's romantic love. Okay? Remember how you attracted him before? Yeah, you attracted Ed before? No? Yeah, you did. You told me. That's Eros. Only through the Holy Spirit. Now let's go back to the Bible. John 21. Remember, Peter didn't have the chance to say sorry after he denied the Lord 3 times. So when he realized that it was the Lord on the beach preparing breakfast, he jumped out of the boat and started running to go to the Lord. And let's see, John 21 verse 15. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Do you love me more than these? Feed my lambs. Do you love me? You know I love you. Tend my sheep. Do you love me?" And he said, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. Feed my sheep." Okay? 3 times. Right? And we know, and in all the homily we have heard, they talk about because Peter denied him 3 times. So Jesus was asking 3 times too. But there's deeper meaning. There's deeper meaning of this. So we will put here, Jesus asked Peter, times.